Emeka is human, but what he is not is a flirt. Emeka has a monogamous spirit. He is a one-woman man. Never mind the audio tape where he was boasting of fathering children all over the world. It was a self-inflating act. On a normal day, majority of promiscuous men don't boast of it. Guys, he is not monogamous because it is the right thing to do, or because the church said so, or because religion said so, or because his conscience wouldn't allow him to do it. Emeka is monogamous because he is allergic to change. He is not a browser or experimenter. He is an addict to status quo. My people, why am I saying this? What reason? What evidence? What incidents and occurrence? What happened that informed my opinion of the person of Emeka? That is the main gist. That is what I'm about to tell you guys. So, sit back and listen while I unravel the mystery. But most important of all, I want to say hello guys, good day and welcome back to my channel. How are you doing today? Hope life is good with you. It's still me, your girl Chisa of G Squatters, and I'm here once again with a tale you can't afford to miss. Also, anywhere you feel you need to say something, don't forget to pause the video and tell me your opinions in the comment section before you continue. Now guys, ever since the ex-wife of the Nollywood actor Emeka has come online to say her own side of the story in response to Emeka's comment about her, there has been a massive online response and reaction to the issue of their marriage and their divorce. Many has taken it upon themselves to dish out unsolicited advices. Many have gone to the extent of personalizing it and internalizing the stirred up emotion, so much so that some men are now looking at their wives or girlfriends as potential Emma, while some women are looking at their husbands or girlfriends as potential Emeka. Guys, it was a case of social hypnosis, a sad reflection of the heydays of Yola May Duche's saga, when many people used their case to ventilate suppressed and repressed emotions. Today, it is happening again. Emeka, the actor, finally hit the right explosion button. It should be noted that this man Emeka has been very vocal and frequent in the public space, dishing out unsavory informations about his ex-wife. Even after he remarried a second wife, he did not move on. He still went ahead to contrast his ex-wife with his current wife in such a way that cast the ex-wife in a bad light. Meanwhile, in all this while, the ex-wife has maintained a loud silence. Maybe that was why Emeka, deemed it fit to come out again this time to trash her again and use it as a means of generating some publicity for his new movie, Malaika. Guys, I don't know what he was thinking, but it is obvious that he must have assumed that his ex-wife will, as usual, swallow the public slurs and aspersions from him with her habitual muteness. But he miscalculated this time, because this time the woman did not just come out to refute his allegations. The woman came out with his son, and the two made their own allegations that literally dwarfed all the previous campaign of calumny from Emeka. Now Emeka is in shock and on the retreat. The last time we heard from him, he was saying he no more wants to discuss the matter in public again. In fact, he tried to blame the online bloggers and media for his calamity. He specifically referred to the media outfits as armed robbers. Today, we are not going to dwell on what Emeka said or did, or what the ex-wife said or did. Today, we are going to really analyze what happened. This man, Emeka, was one of the prominent actors in the early days of the Nollywood industry. He portrayed and interpreted romantic scenes with excellence and class. That beautiful women would chase him for relationship is understandable. That the fresh, the succulent, the well-endowed, the curvy ones, the female gender in different shapes, size, curves, brain and beauty would make themselves readily available for him at any time of his choice and in any position of his fantasy shouldn't come as a surprise to people. Being a celebrity is a giddy experience. Nothing overbloats the human ego more than public applause and adulation. Emeka was not immune to the intoxication of public flatteries. He was just human. He was affected. greatly affected. But what he was not is a flirt. Despite what the glamorous world tried to make of him, Emeka has a monogamous spirit. He is a one-woman man. Maybe because of his background. Don't mind the audio tape where he was boasting of fathering children all over the world. It was a self-inflating act. Promiscuous men don't normally boast of it. Guys, he is not monogamous because it is the right thing to do. He is because he is allergic to change. He is not a browser. He is not an experimenter. He is an addict to status quo. It is a borderline of obsessive compulsive disorder. This is the reason he has been finding it difficult to let his ex-wife be, even after many years of being legally separated. This is why he made efforts to bring the ex-wife back, even when he admitted he no more loves her. Emeka just wanted things to go back to his normal. That is why, in the face of all the opportunities to connect romantically with any of the more experienced women that were constantly presenting themselves at him, he chose a naive 18-year-old girl whom he can tutor and nurture. He might have believed he chose the girl because he loved the girl, but the truth is, he chose the girl because he felt his heart was safer in the hand of the girl than in the hand of his female colleagues and the multitude of women throwing themselves at him. He knew he had trust issue. He knew he had temper issue. He did not need anyone who would challenge him or give him reason to doubt her fidelity. Susan met the requirement. Susan was beautiful, she was young, and she was from a humble background. It was a perfect recipe for a loyal wife that would never break his heart. So, ahead Emeka went in the relationship. At the onset, his fragile ego found peace and comfort at the bosom of the sweet, impressionable 18-year-old girl. The young girl saw him as a star, a demigod, a savior, her knight in a shining armor who came to rescue her from poverty and obscurity and lift her to the life of riches and popularity. So if he abuses the girl takes it in good faith. He could not do wrong in the eyes of the girl as at that time. She has no solid reference of how a woman should be treated and respected. So whatever Emeka does must be the right thing. This attitude fueled the more Emeka's ego. With little or no resistance, it is common to see otherwise good men become monsters to their subordinates. That was what happened to Emeka, my people. He became more and more abusive as the girl became more and more docile. But something happens when a woman begins to give birth for a man. She becomes less and less a wife or a girlfriend and became more and more and more a mother. And the spirit of motherhood is not easy to suppress. What Susan used to take in silence and acceptance when she was a girlfriend and a wife, she began to object and challenge as she became a mother of not just one, but 2, 3, and 4 children. Emeka did not foresee that, guys, and so he was not prepared for it coming. Having enjoyed absolute power and influence over the girl through these years, he found it difficult to come to terms with the new personality of his wife, who was now a mother. So he saw every objection from her as an insult, as a sign of ingratitude. Did he not pick her from nothing? Did he not train her in school? Did he not buy a house for her mother? Did he not open a big school for her? Did he not give her everything a woman could ever desire? Did he not do this for her mom? Did he not do this for her siblings? Did he not do this for her? It should be noted that in one of his public statements, he took time to enumerate the extent he has gone to help the ex-wife and her family. But the way he spoke about his kindness and generosity to Emma, his ex-wife and her family, it was obvious that he is a man who expects blind loyalty and obedience as recompense for his generosity. The toxicity in the relationship began to grow when the mother of 4 refused to give Emeka the usual dosage of docility and blind obedience. obedience. Emeka, who has become very used to having his way and being the only voice of authority in his house, was seriously aggravated by the new Emma, who has begun to challenge his maniacal demand for absolute obedience. It is not uncommon to find a despot, a tyrant, a dictator, an absolute ruler, to find it intolerable when their authorities are challenged by those who they see as their subordinates. Many men have lost their lives because they coughed or sneezed when the tyrant says there should be silence. So Emma's naive obedience might have fueled Emeka's grandiose delusion. And now that the docile, timid spirit is demanding independence and freedom, Emeka could not handle it. When the news of their divorce broke on the internet, Emeka did everything possible to dismiss it as false. Emma said Emeka told her to keep it secret from the public. Emma was more than happy to keep it from the public. Her desire was not to attract any attention from the divorce and use it to chase clout and gain some popularity and maybe acting or modeling role. Her singular desire was to be set free from Emeka's influence. So, for 10 years, she happily hid herself from public radar. She needed to heal from the trauma. But ironically, it was Emeka who kept bringing the matter to the press. Emma needed the peace and the healing that silence and obscurity brings. Emeka, on the other hand, needed the dopamine dose that comes from being the voice that people listen to. So, my people, that was why we have the case of Emeka doing more of the talks in the press. But now that he has talked the one that forced his wife, Emma, to abandon her cave of silence and come out to refute his allegation, the shock has burst the bubble of Emeka's self-delusion. It would be extreme to call Emeka a sociopath, but that he is very insecure is no doubt. It is this deep sense of insecurity that is forcing him to shift blames any other possible way but on himself. First, the main target of his accusations was Emma, his ex-wife. But guys, when Emma came out with an explosive description and explanation of the torture and horror she went through in his hand, he panicked and recoiled. But instead of owning up for his blunder for once, he again diverted the blame, transferring it to bloggers. An insecure person would use anything to boost his own ego. He would lie, blame, and pretend just so as to look good in the eyes of the people. So today, the same Emeka who has been the main megaphone of his family calamity is now the one saying that he doesn't want to talk about it. What happened, you may ask? Here, guys, is what happened. His ego has been battered by Emma's revelation. It is our hope that this experience will teach him a lesson or two about taking responsibility. Now, guys, on the other hand, it is very telling that while Emeka has been busy loading his ex-wife, Emma, with a lot of blames, this is ex-wife, who may not be an angel, who may have contributed in one way or another in that ugly situation. This same woman, while talking to the press, did not hide her gratitude for the help Emeka rendered to her and her mother. When their son Michael tried to apologize to Emma, she was quick to tell the young man that it is she that owed him an apology for all this fiasco. Many flatterers are now flooding the internet making negative comments about Emma, all with the intent to leverage on the scandal and be in Emeka's good book. The poignant question here is all this really worth it? Is there anybody out there who will care for Emeka's children more than their father and mother? It's true there is an audio record out there where Emeka made very bad statements about the son. It is true his son might have said some bad things about his father. But at the end of the day, they are family. A reality Emeka has been completely unaware of its deep importance. But at the end of the day, all commenters, bloggers, flatterers would go back to the comfort of their respective families, no matter how imperfect it is, and Emeka and his children will be left with no choice but to try to stitch together the pieces of what is left of their battered blood bond. The son needs the father needs the son. In the moment of anger, so many things can be said, but anger does not have the power to erase family ties and bonds. No family is perfect, but when you make your family matter a public discussion, everybody hides their own family problems and projects your own as the worst ever. But guys, what do you think? Should Emeka and his ex-wife continue washing their dirty linens in the public? Or should they grow up and know that family is too precious an ornament to be made a public toilet where everyone dumps his or her opinions? Please let me hear what you think in the comment section. And do have a lovely day. See you next time. Bye-bye.